We are going to talk about myopia. We are going to talk about certain questions which I have come across from patients and parents. So
So,
I've broken my discussion into a couple of frequently asked questions from parents, patients, and try to break some myths and facts about this.
so
So
actually, is myopia equivalent to short-sightedness?
exactly, yeah, myopia is nothing but having a prescription, having to wear glasses, and in layman term, it is having minus powered glasses, so you need help to see distance. You can see up close, but the distance vision is not that sharp. So that is why it is also known as nearsightedness. So you're absolutely right.
Yeah. Okay. So,
Okay, great. So we're going to talk about myopia. We're going to talk about other facts and also myths, because there is a lot of misconception about this condition, which is myopia. So as I said, I've broken down into some frequently asked questions, some queries which patients come up with. So I hope that this can be more interactive, and you guys here who are attending can also ask me some questions, and we could take them as we go along.
all right. So we will have the next slide.
Wonderful, great. So before I start, I would like to again, we are gathered here for the World Sight Day, and this year the theme is for children's vision. So we're gonna make sure that our children's vision is gonna be great. So I would encourage all of you to get your children, your child's eye health evaluated. So let's talk about what is myopia first. Yeah, as I just mentioned to you, myopia, we'll talk a little bit about the facts about myopia. So myopia is nothing but having to see blurry distance vision. So what happens in a normal condition, if you see on this side of the screen, when the rays of light enters the eye, it falls on the retina, which is the most important layer at the back of the eye. You can evaluate the retina as the photographic film. So it captures the light and transforms the information to the brain, and your brain is able to see clearly. Okay, so that is where your eye is working absolutely fine. You don't have any power, right? But what happens in myopia, because of the curvature of the eye, or because of the length of the eyeball being longer than it should normally be, the rays actually focus in front of that photographic plate. So the image which the brain receives is not as clear as it should be, and that is why you see blurry. So you need help to make the image clear. That is why we use minus lenses in front of the eye. It can be either spectacles, or people also wear contact lenses to make the image clear, and hence you can now start seeing clearly. So that is all about myopia. So the only important thing here is the rays of light cannot focus on the back of the eye, which is the retina. Hence you need some lenses to make sure the light focuses on the retina, and hence you have myopia. So the longer the eyeball, the more the power you need, the stronger the power you need. That's the basic concept. Yeah. The other question which usually we get is, so this is how you see it using glasses. So if you see the image outside the glasses, that is how people see if they don't wear.
That is what I see.
That is what you see. So you need to get your eyes checked and get your prescription on board.
I have my contact
You are wearing your contact
lenses.
lenses, of course. Wonderful, great. So once you wear your glasses or your contact lenses, your vision becomes much clearer, and you can see the beautiful world of colors. The image becomes more sharp, and you are able to enjoy your day. The next question, as I was saying, we always hear people saying that wearing glasses will worsen my power.
Because maybe we feel that before I wear the glass, I can see a bit blur, but after I wear, I can see clear. But after I take off again, I will see more blur.
More blur, yeah. That's right, exactly. The glasses are there to help you to see clearly. But a lot of people think that, if I give glasses to my child, if the kids wear glasses, the image will become clear, but indirectly that will help or will worsen the power. That's what people think. And actually this is not true. This is the very biggest myth in the market. Parents, individuals thinks that wearing glasses will actually make the power go bad and the eyes go bad. But actually this is not true. Wearing glasses will not only clear your vision, will also help you in performing all your routine daily activities as well. So it's not really true. And these are something which we need to understand first. So what causes myopia? Is it just wearing glasses causes myopia? That's not true. Okay, so a couple of things which causes myopia. One of the important reason is nowadays people have been involved into a lot of near work due to school, due to work and things like that. So near work actually aggravates the myopia. So that's one of the important cause. It is also strongly influenced by genetics. So if the parents have myopia, the risk of child to develop myopia is higher compared to the parents who don't have myopia. Now I'm not saying that being a myopic parent is guaranteed that your child will be myopic. No. But the child will be at a higher risk of having myopia. So it's very important for parents who are wearing glasses to get their eyes, their kids' eyes checked to just rule out if there is any early power which is present and straight away correct that. The other reason is, very important is if you are wearing glasses which are not appropriate to your power. So if you need -2 power, you should be wearing -2. You should not wear an overpowered spectacle or contact lens, nor you should wear an underpowered lens. That is something which is proven scientifically that the power will increase much more greater in progression. So wearing appropriate glasses prescription is again very important, and your eye care practitioner is going to prescribe you your appropriate prescription, and I would encourage you to follow that prescription and get your glasses or contact lenses made. Because wearing under or overpowered, wearing power of your own choice might lead you to a condition which is known as myopic progression, meaning the power will keep on increasing and increasing much more faster. So that's not what we want. And of course, the thing is, people now spend very less time outdoors. So being outdoors, playing in the sun actually is very beneficial, not only for the overall eye development, but also for the overall health development as well. So we want kids to go outside and play. And there is a recommended guideline that every child must at least go out 2 hours per day in order to make sure that we are able to prevent or help them to not increase their power rapidly. So that's the guideline given by the World Health Organization, 2 hours per day. Okay. Some other facts which we must also know is myopia is not a serious condition. So a lot of people think that what is myopia? It's just like wearing glasses. Wearing glasses makes the life easy of the child. Yes, it does help your child to see clearly, but recently what studies have shown and what research and also the clinical experience of people have shown that the myopia or the power which is present in kids is now growing rapidly. What do I mean by that is, if we have a kid wearing a -2 at a 6 years old age, by the age 7 years old, the power will jump to -3, -4. So the jumping, the progression of the power is reported now to be very, very fast. And that is a bit more alarming. So I would say this is a myth, and I would consider this as a real serious condition, because not only giving glasses is enough, but to monitor whether the glasses are enough at each visit and to take appropriate action to make sure that the power doesn't progress or grow faster. And thanks to technology, we are now in a state where there are techniques which can help to control that power change, which can help to slow down the power change. So that is something which we need to be aware. So myopia is considered serious. It is considered to be sight threatening as well. So a couple of facts and figures here. It was estimated in the year 2020 by research that 30% of the world's population was going to be myopic. And guess what happened in that time?
More.
It's actually more now. And this research was done in about 2018, 2016, where they estimated by 2050, half of the world is going to be myopic. But we have gone into an era where we almost would have crossed this number, to be really honest. You would have seen a lot of kids now need help to see clearly. They are wearing glasses and things like that, thanks to the pandemic, because they are now a lot of time on digital device. Those 2 years, they didn't go out much. The lifestyle has changed and things like that. So this is something of a great, great concern. Not only this 50%, we are more concerned of these 10% who are going to be very high myopic. And that's alarming, because with the higher prescription comes higher risk of eye diseases.
So more than
More than 6
6.
diopters is considered high myopia.
So I'm just at 6.
You are just at the borderline. But you are, at your age, I believe that the power usually stabilizes. We are concerned of kids having -6 at the age of about 6 to 12 years of age. So if they are into that age, they still have a long time to grow, and the eye keeps on growing about 20 to 22 years until you are old. So that's where we are of a concern, that 10% of these are going to be high myopia. And because of this, they will have a huge risk of eye diseases. So if you see this chart, just to simplify this chart, if your power is between -1 to -3, which is considered low myopia, your risk of eye disease, if you see there, of developing cataract at a later age, of developing retinal detachment and myopic maculopathy, which is sight threatening, is very low. See, only 2.1, 3.1, 2.2 times compared to who doesn't have myopia. But if you look all the way down to the bottom, if you have high myopia, the risk is actually exemplified. Meaning if you have power of about -7, which is high myopia, your risk of having cataract increases by 5.5 times, and myopic maculopathy actually by almost 40 times. And this is sight threatening, because if you develop myopic maculopathy, it is more of visual impairment. None of your glasses, contact lenses would help, and then you will be visually impaired, and you will have to use magnifying glasses and things like that. So that is quite alarming.
So that is irreversible.
That is irreversible, yes. Unfortunately, myopia is irreversible. But I would say currently with the technology what we have, we can control that power to grow. So if I, as an optometrist or an eye care practitioner, if I detect a kid having myopia of -1 or -2, I would actually start treating them so that the power is controlled. And we don't want the kid to reach until the high myopia level, because we see the risk is very, very dangerous. So we don't want that to happen. Hence, we want to control the power. So this is something which I think is very important for parents. If you want to see whether your child is at a risk of having myopia, I would encourage you to take up this 6-7 questionnaire, and it will give you a risk factor. So it just asks you basic question. What is your child's age? You put it there. It is freely available online. I'm also going to share the QR code later, but you put the child age. You put some basic question. Is they wearing glasses? When did they start wearing glasses? Are you, the parent, myopic, either both or one of them? And how much time do they spend on near activities? How much time do they spend on outdoor activities? So just basic question which any parents can take this quiz. And once you take this quiz, it comes out with a risk factor score, whether you are at a high risk, a moderate risk, or a low risk. And with this information, when you walk into an eye care practitioner's office, they will be able to guide you. So for the questionnaire which we did just now, this particular kid is at a medium risk of developing myopia and also at a very high risk individually because he has started to wear glasses at an early stage. So it also tells you a lot of tips what we are going to talk about in terms of preventing and slowing down the power as well. So it is freely available online, and this is the QR code which can be shared. You can also go to myvisionkids.org, myvisionkids.org. It's a free platform where parents can just assess the risk if they want to bring their kids for an eye exam or not. This will be something which I would encourage all parents to take. All right. We'll go to the other commonly asked question, as we just now mentioned. Can it be slowed down? Can myopia be cured? Okay. What do you think is the answer for this? Can we cure? Can we slow down?
I hope that it can.
You hope. We all hope that it can. But unfortunately, if you have myopia, it cannot be cured. Beneficially now with technology, as I mentioned, with the advancements in science, we can slow down the rate of growth of the minus power. But if you have myopia, you can't cure it. Okay? The other misconception here is people say that I get my laser eye surgery done. That means I have gotten rid of my power. That means I have cured myopia.
Is that true?
It is not true.
Why?
Because your eyeball is still longer. When you do a laser surgery, actually, they are treating you and helping you to see clearly by reshaping the front part of the eye. So you are actually out of your glasses, but your eyeball size, the length of the eyeball is still as it was. So you are still considered to be myopic. You still need to get your frequent eye examinations done. Yeah? So this is a very, very common myth again, that people think that myopia can be cured. Doing laser can cure my myopia. It is not true. Okay? So as I was mentioning, how can we slow down this myopia? So we can't reverse myopia, but of course we can limit. And I think all of us would be curious on what are the ways or steps we can slow down this particular problem. So I'm going to share with you a couple of tips and options which your eye care practitioner would recommend you to slow down myopia. First and foremost is wearing bifocal or multifocal lenses. These spectacle lenses are traditionally prescribed to people who need help at near, but by research it has also proven that if your eye care practitioner suggests your kid to wear these glasses, it can also help to control the growth of the power. So that's the first step which an eye care practitioner would do in the early stage. But thankfully, we now have specially designed spectacle lenses which are available in the market, which can slow down the power. So the technology is they actually have a center area of clear vision. If you see all of these three type of different lenses, there is a center zone of clear area or clear vision, and you have that dotted structure at the side. That dotted structure basically helps to control the power. Okay, so these are specially designed myopia management or myopia control spectacle lenses which your eye care practitioner may prescribe. So just wearing spectacles is not enough, because wearing specs, of course you can see clearly, but now the concern is we want to make sure that the power does not keep on growing faster. So these type of technology and special lenses are proven to be very effective to control the power at least to about 50 to 60%. Okay, so that's the spectacle lens story. We also have contact lenses which are specially designed to control the power. So traditionally contact lenses are worn for cosmetic, vision correction. Now you are wearing contact lenses because perhaps you don't like to wear glasses. it looks much better, cosmetic appearance is better, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes people also wear colored contact lenses, of course,
Together.
together with it, right? So these are contact lenses for myopia control. So again, the same logic, the center is the clear vision, and then you have some technology which helps to control the power. So these are different type of lenses. Again, your eye care practitioner would recommend to you from dual focus, extended depth of focus, and now it is very common that kids can also wear contact lenses to sleep, and that lenses are known as ortho K lenses. So these lenses which you see there on the left of your screen down at the bottom, those are ortho K lenses which can be worn by kids to sleep every night, and then in the morning they wake up, they remove their contact lenses, and they can enjoy the whole day without glasses or contact lenses. So it temporarily reshapes the front part of the eye, which is the cornea, and helps kids to see clearly. That's one part of it, but it also helps to slow down the power progression. Okay, so that's an advantage of orthokeratology. And finally, we also have atropine or pharmaceutical intervention, where the ophthalmologist would generally prescribe eye drops which can be put in the eye, usually every day or sometime alternate days, and that again helps to control the power as well. Okay, but it won't correct your vision, so you still need to wear your glasses to see clearly, but this will help. Atropine or the eye drops which is prescribed will help to control the power which is progressing. So there are multiple options which are available now, and all of the eye care practitioners, I think, are well equipped with the knowledge to prescribe you this. And all kids, I think those who have myopia must go and evaluate themselves if they are suitable for either of these technology, and then they can power control can happen. Right. Moving ahead, I mentioned contact lenses. So this is something which parents would be very concerned about. Are contact lenses safe for kids? Because handling issues, hygiene issues, and all that. I would say don't be worried about kids with contact lenses, because studies have proven that kids are far better than adults to wear contact lenses, right? They listen to you, they obey your instructions, they are more hygienic than adults. To be really very honest, from my clinical experience as well, we have fitted kids with 7-8 years old, and they are so great. They can put their lenses themselves, they can remove their lenses themselves, they can clean, take care of the hygiene much more efficiently than any teenager or adult. So it is really very safe for them to wear lenses. The only thing I would recommend is please get frequent, regular follow-ups as recommended by your eye care practitioner, so that they can pick out if there is any early changes, and then recommend you if there is any treatment needed for if there is any problem. So don't be worried about kids wearing contact lenses. And this is not only I am saying, but these are statistics which have been proven that kids 8 to 12 years of age, they are more safer than teens. And I would encourage parents to ask them to wear. Contact lenses again are of different types, as we mentioned. Daily disposable ones, you get a fresh lens to be worn every day, so it makes it much more hygienic as well, so you don't have to worry about any complications. They are very easy, they obey your orders, they obey your instructions, they do it much more nicely. So I believe I love working with kids, and it's much more easy for me to fit contact lenses to kids rather than a teenager. And nowadays kids are also very active in their lifestyle. They want to play sports, they want to go for ballet dancing, they want to do extracurricular activities. Contact lenses will give them much more confidence, because wearing specs and playing badminton is definitely going to be a problem. Not only because they will have a risk of having injury, but their performance will also not be great. So this is something which will definitely boost their self-confidence as well. Great. Next question would be very commonly asked again is, Since I also mentioned that myopia is genetic, can it be prevented? So can I do something where my kid doesn't get glasses?
I think yes.
I hope I can say yes to that answer because it is in the genes. You can't prevent that, okay? But as I mentioned earlier as well, it is not 100% that the parent has spectacles and the kids will always have spectacles. But what you can do as a parent is do some preventive measures. So if you are wearing glasses, I would recommend you to actually look at a couple of things where we can help to prevent or perhaps make sure that the power doesn't grow up very fast, right? So first and foremost, we encourage at least 2 hours of outdoor activities. Make sure you bring your kids outside during the sunlight. That helps in the dopamine release, in the rhythmic cycle, not only just for the physical health but also for the eye health. It is very good. When they are on digital device, make sure they have a proper setting of ergonomics. Okay, make sure the eye level to the screen, illumination around is good. They are not reading in the dim light conditions. They are taking frequent breaks as well. So what we recommend is 30-30 out rule. So for every 30 minutes of near work, you must make sure that they take a break, look away for 30 feet, 40 feet away, and I would say blink more at least, because what happens is when you are glued onto the digital devices, you forget to blink because you are studying. So that's where a lot of eye hygiene activities would be really very important. Okay, moving to the last couple of one, can myopia reverse with eye exercises? So people do ask me, can I do some exercise? Like how I go to the gym, I do exercise, I lose weight. Can I lose my myopia by doing some eye exercises?
I think a bit hard.
Yeah, it's impossible. Yeah, eye exercises are nothing to do with myopia. It is more to do with the coordination of the eye. Okay, so this is a big myth. So usually eye exercises would be prescribed by an optometrist or your eye care practitioner if there is some misalignment or miscoordination between the eyes. It has nothing to do with curing of myopia. There is no scientific evidence which I have come across that doing some exercises will make my power go down. That doesn't happen. It would be a miracle. It would have happened, and I think I would be waiting for that day, but that day is not yet here. So there is no eye exercise for curing or for lowering down my power. If I have the power, I can slow it down by the technology I mentioned. But your eye care practitioner may prescribe you eye exercises for different conditions. For example, if you have crooked eyes or what we say is misaligned eyes, there are eye exercises which can help you to slightly straighten the eyes. That is possible. If you have eye fatigue, if you have eye strain, yes, there are exercises to help you relieve from the eye strain, but there are no exercises which are available in the scientific world to slow or to lower down the power. So don't get carried away by thinking that eye exercises can reduce my power. That's not the true story.
But we can still do some exercises to reduce our eye strain, right?
Yes, for eye strain, as I mentioned, the 30-30 out rule is actually a visual hygiene. So after 30 minutes of that reading, make sure you are looking far away because you are engrossed in that reading for 30 minutes. So you're looking far away and blinking more often. So what we say is forceful blinking exercise. So you kind of blink it, blink it, blink it, so the tears are able to go out, the new tears are able to come and nourish your eye. That is good. That is possible. All right. Next one is myopia is said to be more in people who live in the cities. So people think that urban population versus rural population, it's more of the disease of people who stay in the cities and things like that. It is really a little bit of a misconception as well, but there are certain facts which are there. Myopia is very strongly again associated with education because, but natural, when you are more educated, when you go to school, you do more of studies, you are engrossed into reading more, and hence that aggravates the myopia. So in this sense, I'm not saying that your child must not go to school, but you must make sure that the ergonomics should be maintained. Make sure that they are reading in the normal room illumination, not in dim light. So there is a huge association of myopia because they are always engrossed in books. They only dream of going outside in the cities. That's a problem again. So there is a relation, there is scientific evidence which says that yes, myopia is more prevalent outside and the cities, but less prevalent in the village areas because they go more out. So I think we should adopt that culture as well. Right? So here are my few takeaway messages from this. I hope that everybody of us will make an effort to get eye examination done for our kids, and this is the frequency of eye examination. I would recommend every year an eye examination should be done for adults, for kids. If you have a problem, if you don't have a problem, the younger kids would need the eye examination, slightly more younger if they have a problem, but if no problem, then this is what we recommend the eye examination should be. Encourage your kids to go outdoors and play at least 2 hours per day. I think I've told this for almost 4 times. 2 hours per day is recommended by the World Health Organization, that your kids must go outdoors and play in the sun. Don't bring their books and digital device outdoors. Don't ask them to do homework outdoors. That's not the way. They need to go out and play. Let them enjoy what they want to do. Cycling, they want to go play basketball, they want to go play tennis, no problem, right? A balanced diet, not only for the health of the general body, but also for the eye health, because there are micronutrients which can come just from your healthy diet. So that's something which is very important and should be encouraged as well. And maintaining proper ergonomics, again, to make sure no dim illumination reading, good distance between your screen, frequent breaks, and let them enjoy what they are doing much more. And finally, we want to make sure that we want to push for myopia management. We want to make sure that the eyeball length is not greater than a certain amount. Usually in our world, we say anything more than 25, 26 millimeter of axial length or the eyeball length is dangerous. So your eye care practitioner would be able to measure this for your kids. So we want to make sure we push for myopia management, and we want to make sure that the prescription always stays below 3 diopters. Anything above 3 diopters, the risk of having eye problems increases. So with that, I think thank you very much for your listening, and I'll be happy to take any questions, or if you have any questions from the audience.
So any question from the floor? So I have a question.
Yes, please.
So we say we don't look in the dim light, right? So if we are watching movie, is that considered dim light setting?
Very good question. Should I bring kids to watch movies? We are not going to do that every day, right? Once a month. So I would allow that once a month kind of thing. That's not a problem. Let them enjoy their life as well. Don't be every week, very, very strict. Yeah, that's fine. If we are doing this every day, then it's not good, right? Yeah, it's okay.
Alright.
Yeah, so watching movie in the dim light, of course, you go in the theater, it's fine. But it's not something which you do it every day, right? So that's allowed.
So any other questions? So once again, thank you, Mr. Fakhruddin, for this sharing about myopia, and hope that everyone here understand more in depth with this causes and preventive measure that we can take for this myopia. And remember to have regular eye checkup as per recommended. So thank you so much.
Most welcome. Thank you for your listening.